Ark Survival Evolved. This is the Xbox One X update. It's actually not bad. You get two graphical options with this. A little bit disappointing though, considering originally they said that this was going to run at 4K resolution option, but that just wasn't present. I also played this a little bit before the update while on Xbox One X, just to generally see the improvement in the actual game. Just without any improvements, it looked really bad graphically, just because of the low resolution it was running at, but it was a lot smoother and you didn't get these screen tears and so forth. So with this update, you get a high graphical option, which you're seeing now, which runs at 1440p by at 30 FPS. So that is not, nearly close to 3840 by 2160, but 1440, it's not a bad jump. It's definitely a big improvement over what was originally being shown. The second option, which I can show and switch between while playing, is a 1080p, which is standard definition, at 60 FPS, so you get more fluidity to it. That being said, the game still, it screen tears, it still has performance issues, obviously. It looks a lot better. The trees, the dinosaurs, the textures involved, it's definitely a improvement, I think. So it's really, do you want a better frame rate, which a lot of people absolutely love, or do you want some slightly improved textures? Personally, on this one, I think I'm gonna have to go with maybe the frame rate, because it's a lot more fluid. But I also do like this version because it seems to be a bit more stable, even though it does have, you can see the little tears in the screen going on there. That being said, it's a lot smoother than what was originally available on base Xbox One hardware. I still think maybe the PlayStation 4 version has the smoothest I've seen. Just the base one, even just base PlayStation 4, it seems to run fairly smooth with less screen tearing and stuff. I played Ark like everywhere, multiple versions on multiple different enhancements, so I got a fairly good idea of how it mostly runs. I haven't played on the PlayStation in a while, so the updates might have made it worse, because I know the Xbox One updates certainly made that one play a lot worse, but that's just how it goes. So we're going to switch modes now. It's fairly easy. I'm playing with the VSync off, just because that's the standard that it comes with, so I thought that was the best option for just, what regular people would just have if they didn't care or look. So we turn that off, and then we're going to get the 1080p at 60 FPS option. Immediately, you're going to see an increase in the fluidity of the movement. You can kind of see it more with the pickaxe. And yeah, as you can see, there's, that screen tearing is still present. I notice there seems to be some graphical hitches as far as little bits of lighting and such. I should also mention that the game does have HDR present, which actually complements the game quite well, considering it's very sunny. There's lots of lighting being used. All the plants have like shades and textures, and yeah, the HDR is a nice sort of improvement here. Hey T-Rex, roar. So yeah, I mean, it still looks fairly good. It's smooth, but I think maybe the 1440, because it actually feels like it's a bit more stable gameplay wise. It's actually funny, as I would have had a lot more items to kind of show off and stuff. But when I did the spawning, I didn't turn God mode on, because I was like out in the middle of nowhere doing some sort of quest or something last time. This is our like fun kind of screw around little level that I play with my friends. So we were off in the middle of nowhere. Oh wow, I just totally destroyed that rock. I think that rock was important because it kind of like blocked off the beach from things. Anyways, and then I spawned up in the sky because the coordinates I used or whatever on this map is like, oh yeah, these coordinates will help you get home, and it's like straight down into death. It was pretty heartbroken. I was pretty broke up about it. Look at that nice sky. Skybox is nice, but I'm definitely, the more I'm playing this 1080 mode, the more I'm seeing little glimmer issues and such. So it looks nice though, and the fluidity is really cool. They're gonna up it again so you can take a look at the sky in the other graphic option. Detail graphics. Yeah, just a little bit nicer. I mean, maybe in a couple decades we'll be able to run this at 4K and 60 FPS. There's dreams for that, right? Obviously. Oh, it's sleeping. That's cool. Oh no, that's not it. That's my buddy. He's passed out. He's a fat dwarf. Droog. Isn't he? I guess he's not drowning. His face is above the water. So that's cool. We have a not too bad house. I think. I don't know. We played this a fair bit. We had a good time with it. Kind of had our little tribe going. It's just like a fun little mode that we could play together. Yeah, I just like boys like just passed out on the beach. Wonder if my other buddy's here too. Oh, there's MK. He's sleeping. Right? Yeah, he's kind of dark in here. And drag his body around. Drag my buddy out of the water. Here you go, man. I wanted to drown. Cool. So yeah, now he's chilling out. We all got beards because we're all old. So for those that don't know about Ark, it's a game that is a survival game in the sense that it's a large open-scale online game that well, you can play offline too, like this is. This is just offline. You can play in servers with others and sort of fight and survive. There's dinosaurs that you can work to tame as you collect items, berries, and other crap. There's tons of skills to work towards, a large skill tree, items to build. You can build this huge gate. We gotta do that every time the gate opens. How do I close this? I don't know how to close it. Okay, whatever. As you can see, we got a variety of dinosaurs. It's kind of like pitch black right now, which is not good for this. Alright, so I set the time of day so that we can obviously get a better look at this. The nighttime was just not doing it for me. And I hope you're getting a good kind of look at some of the technical things. You're still seeing those screen tears being present. But I think it overall is a smoother experience for both options. It's obviously not perfect, but I mean this game is not known for its optimization. We're going to move a bit more inland so you can kind of see it going on here. I'm also noticing a number of items sort of popping in and out in the background as far as the textures load. When you start up, it actually does load up pretty quick, I think. I should close the door in case something bad happens. I don't really trust my creatures. But it's cool in the sense that, you know, you get to ride dinosaurs with your friends and stuff. I think that's kind of awesome. Hey, Triceratops. Should I have rode the giant Megala, whatever the hell thingy T-Rex is? I don't know. Da-na-na-na. Keep up the rules. Yeah, you get saddles and stuff, and you knock them out, and you train your big dinosaurs. Kind of a neat option. So we're a bit more thicker of kind of vegetation here. Let's switch the graphic options. And you sort of see how it dynamically changes right away. And how the fluidity gets a kick up. What? I mean, obviously we're still having some kind of things here. I do notice it's a little bit more present too with the way that the world loads up here. I'm really looking more in the backdrop as far as the trees as they start to shape themselves in the distance, and certain objects as they pop in and out. The optimization for this game is not fantastic, but it is a very, very loved game. I think that's mostly just the unique style it is. Really, giant ants? Are you kidding me? Tons of creatures. They've done great support for this well as an early access. It was an early access for a while. They seem to still be using that kind of distance shading in kind of style. I think Halo uses something similar where it's in the background and it's all like... I don't know how to best describe it. It kind of looks like a game-created item and then it loads in with its textures. And that's just an easier way to really lower the load on the system. And put that back on. Another look at this area. Again, the HDR is quite actually a nice feature with this one. It's the lighting kind of over there. Obviously, you don't get the same effect when you're recording because you just can't record with that, but you get an idea of how the lighting would come in, and it looks really nice in the game. Like I was saying, in the early access, there was lots of support. They added a ton of creatures. There were some controversial things, such as the DLC packs before it was released, but you know what, I think they did a great job of adding new features, keeping it updated, and really working to improve the overall experience. Not in the sense of graphics, as to say, but just new items and features to keep players interested and always giving them something new. Overall, it's a nice update on the Xbox One X. I think maybe even the base model should have been an option so people could have seen what that is. I really wish I would have grabbed some footage of that actual version of the game, just so you could see it. It did kind of really look rather ugly on the thing, just from all the other games I've been checking out with their upgrades. Oh crap. No, 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 no. I don't know if my creature can die or not. I don't know if God mode extends to it. I'm not sure. I feel like it would have died by now if it was going to die. Okay, whatever. I don't give a damn. This Raptor's a dick. Yeah, there we go. You fight back. Now you're gonna get the intensity action of kind of seeing the fighting. And I noticed the fighting and the actual act of doing things in the game is where you see a lot of the performance hiccups. As far as like cutting trees and that, you see a lot more of the screen tearing. Yeah, you fight them. Still, definitely, you know, it looks better. You're seeing that improvement of textures within the world. Yeah, there's more screen tears as you knock things and stuff like that. You're getting those increased animal textures. The poo has never looked more intense. The feces, incredible. And switch versions here again. And while it's kind of honestly minimal when you're going between 1080 and 1440, I mean, there's obviously the bump up is nice, and certain monitors love that certain resolution size. It's just a slight improvement to make it look a bit more detailed. And the original base hardware would probably have an absolute heart attack trying to run any of this, so obviously, you know, you can still play with other friends that are on the base hardware and stuff like that. There's nothing totally changing about the game. I do find it interesting that they have the 60 FPS option though, but I guess that's because it's not really directly competitive. See, we're seeing a lot more loading in on items here, so we're gonna do a walk through this area, and then we're gonna come back in the 1080 mode, and then you can actually see the difference in how the items are loading in. This is one of the more dense kind of areas as far as grass and the flora go. Moving through here. Come on, get out of here. I gotta say, the fluidity is nice. It's just probably not hitting 60 at all, but it's a bump up, you can tell. I kind of see that we're getting that same sort of issue where the grass is not loading in properly, but it's kind of fixed almost because it's got like a blur to it. The grass doesn't seem as... like the details in the grass don't seem as in there. It's really blurred together. It's a very odd effect. Yeah, it looks a bit weird. At least I think so. Obviously you can make your own judgments about it, but yeah, it seems a lot less blurred with the higher detail option. Now, I don't know if they're just masking the textures by making it have a sort of, well, I guess the lower resolution, but 1440, I don't think it should make that big of a detail where the grass is all blurred like that. It's a very odd effect, I can definitely say that. Still, draw distance, not bad on either modes. The way it loads, it's alright. If Ark is one of your kind of favorite games that you enjoy playing all the time, it's much better on here. The base hardware, it's just huge performance issues, and it's never going to get better there. The fact that it even runs on the console is like really impressive enough. It's just not an entirely optimized experience, no matter where you play it or whatever console. We're obviously going to have to see some more intense detailed breakdowns. I'm not directly comparing this to the different versions like the PC, the PlayStation 4 directly. I did make mention of it obviously because I have the experience of being on that console and checking it out. I just really wanted to focus on the two core modes that are available here and kind of switching between them in order to give you an idea of what they look like. It is nice that you can switch on the fly though. Depending, maybe if you're going to be into more of a combative situation, you'll want to have that the smooth frame rate so that you can be more responsive and everything like that. Whereas if you're just doing a scenic walkthrough, you may want the the 30 FPS to 1440 just so you have a better detail in the environments. But it really comes down to what sort of choice you like. Do you love the frame rate and you're fine with a little bit of a more blurry environment? Or do you like visuals and you want to see a more lush and widespread sort of area that you can move through? Whatever the case, the core game stays about the same. Much better. Let's go bring you home, man. I think we got a pretty cool setup going here. Big Jurassic Park kind of door. I was very proud of that improvement. Oh, come on. So yeah, I mean, Ark it's a fun game. It's great to play with friends. You play it online and it performs a lot better now. The single player, obviously, it's a good indication of how it runs. There's obviously going to be a bit more drag to it online with more people. But with it being server run, you might not have as many problems. You can kind of still see like some nasty screen tearing, but that's just going to be present. It's not as bad as on the Xbox One, and it definitely seems to be a bit smoother. I'm not having any issues when I'm actually going to fight the dinosaurs, which is really nice, because that was a huge problem. You like cut a tree or fight dinos, and it'd just be terrible. We're actually going to go switch quickly and just show off some of the online as well. Alright, here's the online. We've got about 10 people in this lobby. I know, not the best, but everything else was nighttime. So this is right off the bat. You can see the textures take a sec to load in. Definitely a lot more screen tearing present when there's more demand on the system. Yeah, I think those do capture fairly well. So that is the high detail mode, 1440. And now we'll switch to the FPS. And we get really similar performance on this one. Punch this thing out. I'm pretty cooked. There's just like grime on my fingers. It also seems pretty bad anti-aliasing around like little objects and stuff like that. I don't know if you notice little like fuzzes and stuff around the fingers and everything like that. Put the detail graphics back on. I'm actually surprised they're allowing different frame rate options when you're actually playing online with others. That seems kind of unfair. But lots of performance issues.